All right, all you BJJ savages, Coach Doug here. I got a pretty extensive study on triangle chokes for you. It's in 3 sections. The first section is just the basic triangle and then the mechanics to it, and then finishing it and entering it from about 5 different positions. So spend a whole bunch of time on the first 6 techniques, the first 6 sections here, and get down the mechanics, get them really strong, get them to where you're finishing people within your rank. If you get in that posture, you really should be finishing. Once you get those 6 down, then you can move to section 2. Section 2 is chains. So once it treats the triangle not so much as a submission, but as a posture where you've got about a dozen different attacks that you can do. Some people call it the diamond guard or whatever, but it's basically controlling the head and the arm with those legs and being able to switch from attack to attack and keep them on the defensive the entire time. The third section, the third and last, is some advanced variations of the triangle, the inverted, the reverse, the side, all that kind of stuff. So get down the first section and the second section before you tackle that third section, because they're a little bit trickier. You really have to understand the angles, really have to understand the mechanics. I encourage you, once again, study section 1, get it down, get it to where it's working, then study section 2, get your attack game totally on point, and then move on to section 3 and come back and review that and start applying it from different positions and different variations. Hope you enjoy. As always, if you have any questions, shoot me a message. Love to hear from you guys. Enjoy, and I hope your triangle game goes through the roof. One out, okay, no matter where we are. We're just doing this from the guard because you can see it easily, right? 1 in, 1 out. What's this called?
Triangle City.
Triangle City, all right? So he's in Triangle City. So my mechanics for the triangle: foot in the hip, knee in the shoulder tight. Okay, do I look straight at him? No, I change my angle, bringing my calf down on the back of his head like a club in a baby seal. Not repeatedly, just one quick one. Whack! I grab my shin on the outside of the head here. Well, I've got this angle. I don't want to be looking in his eyeballs. I want to be looking at his earwax. Grab my shin. This hand is available for blocking, underhooking, posting. All right? And then I can, because I'm pulling down on this, if he's fighting trying to get out, I've got good pressure down. If he's trying to pressure up, see, I can even have this open. When I go to close this up, I'm keeping this tight. I lock. Now look, I don't want this up here. I want this in the crook of my knee. The foot goes down, away, and I can squeeze. Okay, now look, if I'm going, go ahead, resist. Okay, fight it. When I start putting all this pressure, if I do all these things and I still need to make it a little bit smaller, I can grab the back of his head and go hips up, and that puts pressure up on those carotids. Okay? Look with my legs. The idea here is to make this triangle smaller, right? Make this triangle smaller. So if you can come up with something that I'm not doing that makes the triangle smaller, by all means, let me know. Ankle down. See, the heel comes down. That lowers the boom. I point my foot out. That takes away the space, and I squeeze. Now, when I put my hips up and pull down on the head, it puts the pressure directly up on the neck. Once more. Okay, Triangle City. I need to control. Some people get worried about this arm. I don't worry about this arm. I worry about controlling the head, right? So control the head. What's my first thing? Foot goes where? Hip. Hip. Knees in tight. I use this to change my angle. Leg comes down, grab, look, right from head control to grabbing that shin. Okay, lock, foot goes down, out, squeeze. If I still don't have it, resist. Okay, he's not letting me get it, he's holding on, he's, fighting. I pull down on the head and put my hips up. It's very, very tight. Okay, so let's review those mechanics, because no matter how we get into Triangle City, we're going to finish the same way. Then we'll go over a bunch of different ways to get into there, okay? Let's do it. I want you to pay attention to, okay? Robert, let me grab you. Look, if my legs are here, if I'm trying to triangle my legs because my legs are across his back, it's not going to happen. I got long legs, but he's a big guy. what I need to do is get it so just his head and his arm are in there. Oh, and then it's, yeah, it's easy. You see the difference? If I'm here and I don't have my angle, it's no good. But if I just have, look, I just have his head and his arm in here now. Same thing, he's trying to escape, he's bumping up, whatever, I keep this pressure down. See? Lock it up nice and easy. Woo! Thank you. So make sure you get, if I'm going to initiate attacks, how I'm gripped up is going to tell me a lot about how I'm going to attack. I can't choke him if I'm holding on to his sleeve, all right? Can I armbar him if I'm holding on to his collar? Yes, because what's he got to do with the arms if I'm trying to choke him? Got to defend. So we can use these principles of making him do what he doesn't want to do by thinking he's doing something else, okay? Which we can just call push-pull. From a kind of an open guard, feet in the hips type situation. I can, with the gi, I can make my cat's paw grip on either side, or I can be controlling the wrists. Generally, he'll have one more forward than the other. All right, so I'm going to put the foot in the hip. This foot in the hip is a great weapon, but notice this other leg stays behind. So if he's trying to back up out of it, I'm staying right on it. So what I'm going to do is I want to stuff this arm, so I'm going to pull on it. When I pull on it, what's he going to be doing? Trying to pull it back. I open this up, see my foot in the hip, see how I shoot my hips up, right? Up. Now, I'm still holding on to this wrist. I change my angle as I come down. If this comes down, I'm gonna, what, with my half on the back of his head, what am I doing? Like clubbing him like a baby seal on the back of the head. And see how I change my angle at the same time? Yes, this is the politically correct Vanguard Gym way to learn the triangle choke. Right. So, wrist control, either with the sleeves or on the wrist. Generally, he's going to stack, right, because he's trying to control, do this type of thing. So I put my foot in the hip, right, so I can start bumping and jumping here a little bit. I'm going to push-pull here, and see, when I pull here and push here, he tries to do the opposite thing. I open my guard, I shoot the leg up, I stuff that arm through, right? Now, keep that butt up. Practice this slow, right? Slow is what? And then smooth is fast. So I change my angle as I club the baby seal. Now I lock. If I need to go cross grip to keep this in place, that's fine. I can keep this cross grip, grab my shin, all the mechanics for the finish stay the same. Alright. So here, I push pull, he fights, boom. Sometimes he'll kind of catch on right here. Alright? Or he'll think that I'm trying to pull this in. If I'm pulling this, he's going to pull it back. Now I shove, right? Now he tries to fight it back in. So I leave that arm there for a minute. Yeah, until I get it locked up. If I need to, I switch, get this grip here, right? Good cross grip here, grabbing the shin, lock. I can't tell you how crucial this foot in the hip is here. If I'm here, I gotta give up a lot if I just open up both. So I come here, right? I pull the one that I actually want to stuff. When he starts to pull it back, boom, I shove it down there, throw this leg up over, hips are up, what now? Boom. Good. Full speed, right? I'm here, push. Okay. If I need to, if I'm having trouble, he's trying to get out of here, you come onto it, boom, right? Cross grip, here, lock. Our system for our attacks, where am I starting off usually to attack him when I got him in my guard? What's my first thing I'm looking for?
Elbow or lapel?
Lapel. We're looking for our lapel. If he's got a good posture, okay, we're looking for our lapel to open it up, right? Pull him forward, get our grip, start breaking his posture. Okay, if I just come here and I grab his arm, he knows I'm trying to armbar him. So we start off with this lapel. Usually we can get some sort of thing. Plus, look, I can use my legs to help break him down. I get my grip, boom, I'm starting to make my attacks, right? If he defends the choke, what's he used to defend the choke? he uses his arms, right? He brings his arms in to defend, boom, and then we can transition to the arm locks and all that, right? And then we showed, okay, if he's posturing up, and I can't get real deep, I still have this, and I can, you know, transition to a sleeve grip and start doing what? The high guard, right? Blocking this shoulder because we've lost this grip. So now we get to here, we're here. Now, maybe he fights off this grip and I don't have that grip anymore. So now we transition to where we are today with the 2 sleeves. So now he's backing up. So I put a foot in the hip, I'm open up, right? Look, what do? I pull on this, what's he trying to get the arm back? Boom, I'm into my situation here. Now, that brings us up to date, right? Am we going too fast? All of that's review if you've been here for a few weeks. If you haven't, it's okay, it'll come back around. So now I'm having trouble with this, can't get it, so now I have my sleeve grips. If you want to start your game with the sleeve grips, that's fine. But understand our system starts with getting in deep and getting that control and having these opportunities first. If I just come here and start with this game, I'm giving him all that space. He doesn't have to fight for that space. Does that make sense? So I tried the push-pull, I didn't get it. Now my guard's open, he's got his elbows out and he's in a good position. So I'm gonna use this foot here, that's here, to shrimp and bring my knee inside. Where do you think I'm going next? I'm going to shrimp again, foot in it, my foot stays in the hip. I put the foot in the biceps. See where I'm at? Where are we? Spider guard, okay? So he's going to be not digging this so much, and he's going to be trying to bring this arm down. So that's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push my toe and allow this to slip. All the mechanics are the same for the finish. Okay, the guard's open. I can't get my closed guard back. He's got his posture. He beat my push-pull. Foot goes in the hip. Look, this leg right here, I shrimp, bring my knee in. I can shrimp again. Look, foot's in the hip. Foot goes in the biceps. Notice, when I push on the biceps, what do? Sit up on my elbow. This gives me more opportunities for different things. So now he's going to be trying to bring that down. That's fine. Look. I point and let it slip. Alright? I mean, I'm going to be aggressive about it too. But I'm here pushing. He tries to get that elbow down. That's fine. Look, foot's in the hip. As this slips, he's coming right into me here. Foot's in the hip. I've changed my angle. I'm what? Clubbing the baby seal. Lock it up, and I'm good to go. Once more on the entry. Done whatever, now I'm on the sleeves. Okay, I came to here, I tried to hit that push-pull, but he kept his arms in. Legs here, knee comes in, foot still in the hip. I shrimp out again and make the space. If I'm up close, I can't do it. So I gotta shrimp out, work that knee in. If I need some more space, if I can't get in, I shrimp out again. See this far foot still in the hip. I'm stretching him out. How you feeling there? Stretch out. Foot comes up in the biceps, all the way in the fold. I don't put it up here in his, see, it's easy for him to get his elbow down there. I want this all the way out in the crook of his elbow. As I push, I sit up on my elbow, and I can scoot in here a little bit now, because he's going to be fighting to get that elbow out. My foot stays in the hip. Look, I point and change my angle as I drop this down. Lock it up quickly while he's still stretched out and off base, and I'm in a good position to finish. Our system, initially we're looking for some sort of collar control so I can control the posture and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of times he will, defend the neck, keep his elbows in, all this type of thing, and work to escape. When he starts to escape, all right, he's usually going to go elbow knee here. This arm is kind of going to be across. So when he starts to do this, okay, I can post this elbow's up, right? This elbow's up. I can post this hand down, all right? Bring this knee up under this arm. Control the head. Look, I'm posting the hand, controlling the head. I step over here, okay? My foot comes to my knee, right here. I'm gonna grab that shin. Now, if I can stay on top of the guy, I'm gonna pull this arm up and move this leg up nice and tight here. Sometimes I can triangle choke somebody. If they're a bigger guy, their arms are real thick, I can triangle choke them. But otherwise, some people will try to lock up the triangle here from the mount. It puts, if I do that, if you're real flexible, you might get away with it. But if I do that and he tries to, what happens when that?
Almost breaks your ankle.
Yeah.
Especially if they're bigger than you.
Right, so Reed was doing this to somebody. I warned him about it. He's like, I'm gonna lock it up before I roll. And when the guy bumped him that way, he almost broke his ankle, okay? So it can really hurt. But look, my leg is across the back of his, start with number one. Look, where's my foot? In the hip. Where's my knee? In the shoulder. Where's my shin? Across the back of his head, and I'm grabbing with that same hand. Now he's gonna be bucking and jumping, so when I roll, I come this way. Look, I'm right in position. I change my angle. I already got him broke down with this foot in the hip, and I lock this down, away, squeeze. Okay, so the finish, the mechanics of the finish is all the same. It's just my entry is a little bit different. All right? He goes to put the elbow knee, right? This elbow's up. This elbow's down. I post this hand as I bring this knee up. See where I'm at? He's trying to buck and jump and make space, right? So put my hand, that's fine. I post this hand, I bring this knee up, isolating this arm. I'm gonna grab the back of the head, and this leg comes all the way around. I wanna stay as tight as I can. Even with this hand in here, it's not a big deal. All of my body weight, it's gonna be hard for him to work that hand back into the defend. Okay, even if he's trying, it's tough. Foot in the hip, knee in the shoulder, grabbing the shin, calf along the backside. I follow my knee over here, rolling, changing my angle. See, I don't come up here, come all the way through. Boom. It goes off very, very quickly here. Now, this is a technical approach. You'll have guys that like to escape by going down the rabbit hole. So as soon as he sticks that hand there, right? See what he just did? Stuck his hand underneath there. Look, I just grab his head, bring my knee up. Okay? Boom. He wanted to go out the rabbit hole. He just found out that the rabbit hole ends up where? Triangle City. Okay? Direct Express. But if I gotta be a little sneakier about it, I gotta be a little more technical about it. I'm working my game, he's bucking and jumping, he's fighting off my grips, he's breaking my balance. When it comes to here, look, post the wrist, bring this knee up, right? Keep this tight as I step over, pulling up the head, right? You want to post this, pull up on the head at the same time. Leg comes over, everything's in position. What do I do with this hand? Grab that shin, keep it tight, change my angle, finish the chin. Okay, let's go. Or questions? No? All right, entries into the triangle because people don't expect it. It's kind of like the Spanish Inquisition. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, and nobody expects a triangle from side control. All right, there's actually a couple ways to get to it. I'm going to show you guys kind of my 90%. I got a 90%, a 40%, and a 15%. So I'll show you guys the 90% way to do it. Okay. I'm going to start from my good side control position. Look, this guy, we're not trained to fight guys that don't know what they're doing. He knows what he's doing, so he's got a good stone squirrel position here. He's got his arms in the right place, everything. Go ahead, put your arms in, right? So he's going to start trying to make space so he can pummel and get his underhook, okay? Or he can regard, right? So he's doing all that, he's doing the right thing. So we don't want to let him get away with that. So he gets in a position, I'm going to sit through here. Boom, to where? Where am I? Right? We're in our jiu-jitsu style scarf with our underhook. Now, I'm gonna pick up this elbow, right? Pick it up under my armpit, and now I'm gonna bring this knee back up to his head. Now look, I'm going to keep this tight, come under his head, and get that arm trapped. I like to grab the gi personally and pull it in. So now if he's trying to get that arm out, it's trapped in there. It's isolated really well. So now while he's worried about that, I've got a good base. I got my hand here, I got my feet. I'm gonna bring my knee, my right knee up in his belly like this. Boom, all right? What's he thinking now? Man, I don't wanna get the knee and belly. He can go to mount. So what's he do? He blocks the knee, posts his hand here to block the knee. I'm gonna take this hand, post it right there. I'm not trying to move it, I'm just putting my weight right on that wrist. Is that okay? It's not hurting your wrist? I'm gonna be here, okay? And all I'm gonna do now, look, this back foot is critical. I windshield wiper it in to his hip, then I step over, right? Reaching behind the head, I grab that shin, right? I've got this arm isolated. I pull this here, and now it's gonna be real hard for him to fight his hand back in. I pull it out, and where am I? Hey, no, he's in Triangle City. I am Triangle City. I'm the mayor of Triangle City. Roll, get my angle, finish. I got a little bonus arm bar there if I set it up right here. I got anything out. But I have to isolate this near arm. If I don't, right? If his arm's in, right? And I try to do this. Look, he's both arms out. Okay? So side control, he's got a good position. I don't want to wait till he can hit his escape. Right? So I sit through, hip heist, boom, good base. Grab the elbow, pull up on the elbow, bring the knee into the head as I switch back. Keep this tight, elbow tight, right? So if he's trying to get his arm out here, my elbow's tight, I come under the head, keep it locked in here. I can grab and pull, keep it tight. Good base, sneak my knee up on his belly. He says, oh no, I don't want him to go to the belly. I want him to come out. Right? He's trying to stop me from stepping over the mount. So I post, boom, let's keep that in place. I windshield wiper this back leg. Okay? Post, windshield, step over, grab that shin, pull that leg under his head. My foot's in his hip, my knee's in his shoulder, I got my shin, it's behind his head, I'm in position. Foot in the hip. Okay, last time. You guys take me through the numbers here. Side control, first thing.
Sorry.
Right? Yeah, sit through, but I gotta use this knee. I gotta kinda drive that arm out with this knee. What do I do now?
Drag down with the arm.
Pick up the elbow.
Pick up the elbow, like up above the elbow here, to grab that triceps. Now what? Switch my hips back, knee to the head. This arm slides down underneath, pull it in tight so it can't escape. Can't get that arm out. Now what? Then it comes up in the belly. Boom, windshield wiper, post, step over, boom. Good go. Hit it, scarf position. I've been getting a lot of mileage out of the one we showed like the first week, where I'm kind of pretending to attack this arm, but really all I'm doing is setting this up. I can get a lot of mileage and that's very strong, but sometimes he's hip to that, so he won't let me put my leg over, and he gets his elbow down tight, okay? He's bumping and jumping and making all sorts of space. So I can, you know, we're always going this way, but I can also take this leg here, come over. As soon as this leg comes over, I'm looking to pick up this sleeve so that I'm here. Okay. I'm trying to pull this arm up, he's trying to put the arm down. All right, so I post, I'm gonna step over. As soon as I step over, I'm looking for that elbow. Step, elbow, right, or sleeve, right? Drive right up into this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've been finding that, and the problem is that they're putting their hand up to block, so I can't get over.
you know, if I go to step and he's blocking here,
He's blocking it, but
okay, no big deal. So as he does this, as he blocks his hip, block, right, and he pushes this back. I think I did this to somebody yesterday, the day before, and I went to go and they pushed this back, and it came right into the Old Spice. Was it you? Yeah. Oh. I was like, I remember doing the move, but I didn't remember who I did it to. So it's just like anything else. It's just another attack, right? You do one thing. If you're just trying to do one thing, guys can defend it. But if you're tying stuff together, not so much, right? So this is nice. So I can come here and step, right? Where I'm trying to get the choke, so I can step this way, right? I can step this way with the arm through, right? I can step forward, switch my position, right? Or I can step up here. And in any of those, if he's pushing my foot back, how many of you falling into this? Every single one of you. Don't pretend you haven't. Every single one of you has gotten Old Spice from that step over. It's like my A game, right? As soon as I pass, boom, step over, they push the leg back. Oh, Old Spice. And now you guys have been to the Old Spice, and now what am I doing? Ezekiel. Okay? So it's right there. So it's all connected. Cool? Any other questions? All right. You guys want to give that a couple of tries real quick and then we'll bow down. How are you talking about? We went over a couple main different types of triangles. Okay? The inverted, the back triangle, the regular triangle, the side triangle, the inverted back triangle, all that kind of stuff. Now I want to kind of give you from within that position, we'll turn the triangle into more of a posture, and I'm going to show you a couple attack chains that you can put together inside of that triangle posture. So a lot of times you get there, and when those legs are around, you're defending the triangle, but you're going to see there's about 10 or 11 other things that you can do there to finish the position or the posture. Okay? So if I get Mike here in the triangle, okay, the first couple things that we have, well, there's two different types of arm bars. Okay, we can do our arm bar. Notice I like to start here, so he's defending the choke. I come up and hit the arm bar. This is basic class. This is Jiu-Jitsu 101, right? I'm trying to go for the arm bar, but he gets the arm out, right? So I change my angle and put the Plata on, and he bases up hard. When he bases up hard, I have to come back across. What am I doing?
Clubbing the baby seal.
Clubbing a baby seal, right? My calf is the club, back of his head is a baby seal. I'm breaking his posture, I'm pulling down, and I finish with the triangle. Okay? You guys already know that. Now, once I'm already in this position, all right, I have where I just get my hips out, and I don't have the triangle finished, but I can finish with a straight arm lock. Okay? I can also bring this leg over and get the straight arm lock here. So I can fight anywhere from here to over here and have this. Now, this is one of those cases where I definitely want to cross my feet, or cross my ankles, because now I have both legs down on his head. If he tries to stack up from here, it's much harder, right? Okay? So if he postures up really well, gets his butt down and his head up, right? I get my hips out and I can hit this arm lock, or bring the leg over and hit the arm lock. Check. If he defends that, right? We have the arm bar, the triangle, right? If he defends with the arm outside, right? He's trying to keep the pressure off. Then again, I can transition to the Plata. In any of these situations, this arm is inside. I can peel the elbow up And when we go over our Kimura stuff, right, what do? In the basic curriculum, move the arm back. Yeah, I got Kimura from the guard, I've got Kimura from the triangle posture, and I got triangle from the, or Kimura from the arm guard, right? So all of our basic attacks are still connected here. Whether I start for the arm lock, I lose the arm lock, transition for the omoplata, he postures back up. Look, it's important. Right now, my butt's facing this way. When I come back up for this, I need to spin my hips around the other direction. That's the most important part, okay? Likewise, if I'm gonna get this arm bar, where do my hips need to be? To the outside, okay? I need my hips outside here to get this or this. Check. So kind of the trinity of attacks there are the omoplata, the triangle, and the arm bar. But we've got two different types of arm bars, right? The arm in and the arm out, right? Arm in versus arm out, check. The arm out we get here from this triangle position. But I can also finish the arm by just getting my hips out and having everything. And that works best when he's posturing up. He's defending by posturing up, and I still have control of this arm. Check. Most of it, all of this should pretty much be reviewed, but I want to make sure we're strong on all of this. Any questions? So armbar, triangle, omoplata, two different types of arm bars, and then the Kimura from within the triangle or outside the triangle or going to the omoplata. Sometimes I'll try to finish the omoplata, I won't have it, and I'll switch off to the Kimura because it's right there. Any questions? Anything to add? All right.
Dead giveaway.
At any time that's gonna happen. Okay, but people will get in here and then they'll try to stack. They'll try to do this and stack and come around. Okay? So look, I just block the hips, right? And I get this cutting arm lock. Check. Sometimes if he's here and he's fighting, boom, I can even pull him down into it and get right on it. I like to go gable grip because it helps me find that elbow, and then I stretch him out, keeping my hands on the elbow, and then my hips in and my arms down. Okay? Generally, if I go over this, he's going to fight to get his arm back in. Okay? As he does, I can stay and get back on my straight arm lock. When I go for my, like, I'm still in the triangle position. I haven't, go ahead, put this back down. I haven't, okay, so cutting arm lock, he brings it back inside. I transition to the triangle arm lock, right? Now when I pull on this, a lot of times he'll bend his arm real hard. He's bending, right? So I can come here, and what am I doing? Americana, or wrist lock, or both. Okay, depending on how I'm set up, if I'm here, then I'll just come and grab here. Okay, I'll reach across and grab, right? So that if he's defending, I'm here. And then I have this arm to push and crank this out. Okay, yes ma'am.
Are you just skipping the triangle?
What do you mean?
If you went from the cutting arm bar and then you just did straight arm bar, would you not just go to the...
You can change, look, I'm just showing you, you can go 12 different directions. I'm showing these in chains of 4 so that they're easy to remember. And so they're connecting, right? They're connecting because of that arm bar, right? If I'm here and I try to go to this arm bar, right? And he fights his way back in and I'm able to bring this together, I can still finish the triangle, right? Or I can go, boom, to that other arm bar we're looking. But we're just working a chain now with 4 different attacks, with one linking attack and 3 different attacks. So cutting arm bar, straight arm bar, okay? When he bends it, right? I can turn it into, see here, he's defending his wrist. that's fine. I can still turn this into what? Americana. I'm pushing it in and away and back. Okay, if he fights his way back into it, I still have a wrist lock here. Okay, and I can do that on either side. Okay, that's probably the best. That figure 4 is probably the best either way. Okay, a lot of times I'll just grab it, right? I'll just kind of grab it here, like I'm doing like a little bit of a weird gable grip, because then I have this. And as he's fighting that, I hit the wrist lock. But I've really got this controlled by my legs. Does that make sense? When I do that. So it's not that you have to have a specific grip. This is super strong. Okay, get out of it, Mike. Right? This is just super strong grip. This is super strong grip. Okay, because I'm putting pressure on everything here. This, if I'm not quick with it, you'll fight. You may be able to get out of it, so I switch off and I come back to the figure 4. But this figure 4 with the wrist lock in the Americana is very strong. If he straightens it back out, boom, straight arm lock. If he tries to put pressure on me by stacking me up, boom, we're back to cutting arm lock. Okay? So, cutting arm bar, straight arm bar, you can do figure 4 grip Americana and wrist lock at the same time. Cool? Any questions on those? All right, situations where I may already have an overhook. Generally when I have an overhook in the gi, I'm grabbing this opposite lapel, right? I may have this from the guard, or I may have this from where? The half guard, right? In our basic curriculum, go ahead, support a half guard. In our basic curriculum, we cover hitting the triangle from this overhook position from the half guard, getting that knee in, working the foot up, and hitting the triangle. Right? So we may have gotten here from the guard, another thing, or from the half guard. Another setup for this that I like a lot is being in the guard, and you start attacking the neck here, right? And put some pressure. You got a really good pull here. And he's got to bring his arm up to defend. So when he does, I get my hip out, and I just kind of force this situation here. And he can choose to try to fight this arm back in, or pull it out, or leave it there to save his neck. Either way, it doesn't really matter, because the attacks that I'm going to do from here aren't really affected by this, okay? So, however I got here, I have the overhook, I have my the deeper the better on this collar grip, all right? I got to my triangle posture. First thing that I like to do here is just to open things up and put some pressure and get him defending, and it's harder for him to defend with this leg here, right? But I'm going to come in here, if I get my thumb in, great, get my thumb in and start working this choke. If I can't, I get some collar together, I get some material together. The further back, the better, right? Because that takes out all the slack. And I drop my elbow in there, and I put this down, and I really, this is kind of just shoring it up, but I really have to pull with this opposite arm here, right? So I'm pushing here, right? Coming down with my elbow, out with the elbow, making him look away, and pulling with that bottom arm. Okay, if for some reason I can't get that, I just don't have the grips, I'm not gripped deep enough on this, he's posturing, then I can very easily switch, get my knuckles in, and what do I have here? Okay, scorpion choke, right? So the scorpion goes into the carotid artery here, and I still pull the gi on the other side. Okay, so there's a two-sided attack, my knuckles in this side, the gi on the other side. If for some reason this isn't working, we also have a step over variation. Okay? Again, I'm pulling with this side. A lot of times just having my leg here and pulling with this gives me a lot of pressure and puts a lot of crankage on his head. If I leave this in place, I have a pull with this arm, a push with this arm, and a push with my leg. So it's hard for him to put his chin, you know, if he's here trying to block this with his chin, right, and I'm having trouble getting that in, when I bring the leg over, that opens that up and gets me in a good position to really have that in there. And I can play with letting it out, putting it back on, whatever I need to do to kind of open this up so I can get this grip. Does that make sense? If I'm here and I'm gone and I don't have anything, what's our connector here? Homo block. Okay, it comes back, triangle, arm bar, cutting arm bar, a whole series. right? So we connect it back to our other chains. You see that, how there's like one connector in each group? But this really comes off of having this over under. Whether I start from guard or half guard or whatever, I get to here with this over under. What's my first thing? Front choke, right? Grab that gi. Usually I'm going hard enough that it's hard for me to get my thumb in, so I just grab the gi and start giving him a hard time here. He's got to defend it. He's got to do something to defend it, right? So when he does, see, I'm using this leg to open this up, and I get this in here.
Yeah, I'm saying now it takes away my...
And so now it's hard for him to defend because I'm using my leg to keep that arm away. Okay? A lot of times I can just get in here with the scorpion, right? If I'm having trouble, go ahead and defend. Get your chin and neck down here, right? If I'm having trouble getting that grip, right? I bring the leg over, open it up. Oh, there it is. Okay? And if I just can't get this and my grips give out, boom, switching off to the Plata, switching back to the triangle. Attack, attack, attack. Just constantly on the attack, so he's constantly defending. Any questions on that chain? It's basically the Overhook series, right? All right, let's do it. Okay, so, all right? Yeah, big grip. You want me to grab Christian? Let's do it for sure. All right, so a lot of times for this type of situation, guys are gonna try to pass to this side, right? Especially heavier guys. Guys are gonna try to pass the other side, okay? And that's gonna put, now what this does, it gives me entry back to this arm lock because he's putting my hips where I want them to be. But there's also, as he starts to come this way, right? If I get this arm here, I have an outside cutting arm bar. Okay, the other one we had was off the inside. But again, anytime I feel that I can like talk on the phone to the wrist, who should I be looking for? The wrist is always home. Now I just have to find out if the elbow's home, and then I'm good. So same thing if he starts coming this way, and I'm able to get on it. See, he's smart because he reaches for the collar. But a lot of guys will try to post on your head here. So there's a cutting arm bar right here. Okay. In addition, once we start to do this, there's also a what? Okay. So I have, this is the electric scorpion. Okay, because I have my leg in the equation, right? So I've got this cutting arm bar, right? I put my grips in here, I hit my electric scorpion, right? Even if he's defending by grabbing my leg, right? I love this when he's grabbing my leg here because this is open, right? Karate chop, get this in there, right? Don't let me get it, defend. It's there, and he's hiding this arm. And now it's too late for him to get that arm out of there and do that. Okay? Now, the last thing I want to show you, I think it's important how you set it up. Okay? For me, I get this more when I'm here. Okay? If I've got a bad angle, I've got to change my angle. Alright? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my grip here. Okay? Palm up. It's got to be palm up. I'm making him look away. Okay, now I have two choices. If he doesn't pull his arm out, if he leaves the arm in, then I finish this arm in. It's even easier that way. Okay, but a lot of times when I'm doing this, he'll feel it and he can get that arm out. And now he feels safer because he got that arm out. Well, guess what? I replaced my arm with his arm. So I'm still going to finish this. Okay? If you try to set this up here, once he's already got the arm out, it's going to be very difficult. Okay? Your success rate will go up monumentally by a large percentage if you do this while you still have the arm. And I call this the radial triangle because you're using what? Your radius. Okay? That radius is what's choking there. So I can put my foot in his hip and work this right here without having to worry about this space. If he doesn't pull his arm out, I just finish it with both arms in. It's very tight. Okay, if he pulls the arm out, Merry Christmas to me, I still get it. But set it up before he gets this arm out. Okay, I'm here, boom, He's defending, he's posturing, he's doing all stuff. Look, I put the foot in the hip hard, I get the angle to get this, I make him look away with my forearm, right? So he's looking away here. Now, if he's trying to stack or come around or whatever he's trying to do, this gets very tight. He pulls his arm out, boom. I don't know that it's even tighter, but it's plenty freaking tight. Good to go?
Can you do the electric?
Yep. So we've got, and these are just some strays, okay? We've got this outside. Sometimes guys will start putting some pressure here. We can get this outside cutting arm lock, right? I can get this. I like this especially when he's hugging my leg here, when he does this kind of defense, right? Because now he feels like, oh, I can't attack this arm, I can't whatever. So if I just put a little pressure on his head, bring your head to your shoulder. Okay, pretty easy to get my grip. Now I'm here, now defend this. Get this left arm out. I'm not putting any pressure yet. Get this arm out and defend it. It's very difficult for him to do that once he's there. Okay. And then foot that you gotta put the foot in the hip. Get yourself out of here. Hold on with both hands if you need to. He gets that arm out. No sweat. Don't even worry about it. There you go. Cutting arm lock, electric scorpion, radial triangle. Let's do it. The reverse triangle, we're gonna do, no, just switch here. So, what's kind of, if I'm doing everything right, what's one of his last ditch defenses here?
Elbow.
Huh?
Use elbow.
To reach up and grab this and pull this to the ground. Okay? So look, I continue to control this. I stay tight. All right? Get my angle out. Now, I'm going to switch this off. I'm going to bring this foot in, right? So that my Achilles and my heel are on his neck. Okay? I let this down just far enough to refigure four. Now I do all the same things. I push this down and out, and that gets very tight because my hips are here and the cutting edge of my Achilles and heel is in this carotid here. So this is our reverse triangle. Okay, there's space here, so people don't really feel the danger until it goes on very quickly. Generally, we don't go straight for a reverse triangle, but it's very effective when he's doing this last ditch defense. Does that make sense? I think I've only seen, like I saw Braulio Estino go straight into a reverse triangle once, but that's just because he was at a weird angle. He was coming off this inverted guard stuff. Does that make sense? So coming off of the inversion, he was over here, so he brought this over and locked it up. Make sense? Can you see it again, or are we good? Once more. Okay. So we're here, he grabs this knee, drives it to the ground. So now keeping this leg just like we had, I'm gonna control the head, right? Foot in the hip, get my hips out. Look at, I pull the head, I bring this in, right? Keep this nice and tight against, see how my Achilles is on his neck? Okay, I lock this up. If he's trying to grab my leg, it's tough for him to grab my leg here. Keep my leg from doing anything. He's in a really bad position. Okay, all this is putting a lot of pressure. Good to go? Any questions? Let's give it a try.
The deep half. And this person, when he goes to establish the deep half, he's pulling on the inside of your thigh, reaching under. He's pulling both with his thigh and with his arm. And if he sets you, gets his hooks and stuff like that, from here I have no movement. So if I wait till this point in time, I have to move on to other things. I'm waiting for him to sweep me and then trying to get into different attacks as he's coming up. So my opportunity on this is utilizing that pull, but as he does, I'm going to post. I'm trying to post under his arm, post, and then I'm going to try to cup the head. I'm not pulling the head as much as when he creates the motion, I'm scooting myself up high and then trapping the head. Under the arm because I've posted, and then I'm going to hook it. From here, I try to double it up or go for a grip, cable grip. Okay. Worst case scenario, just double up on it and pull it in tight. On the shin here, I'm going to wedge the shin down flat across both shoulders. Like it's a bar, lifting bar going across the shoulders. I'm going to think about kind of like a crowbar. That's what I'm trying to do with my leg and pull him. Right now, it's easy. There's no pressure on him. He can work to control the leg. But as soon as I torque into him, this is a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure on the shoulders. It also slides my foot up to a point where it's hard for him to control with his legs. And then when I get here, it's easy for me to pull it out and tuck it here. Okay? We talked about the different directions a person rolls. If he tries to roll away from me, all I have to do is switch my hips, base, and come back to side control. If he rolls towards me, as he rolls, I kick this up, shrink my hips out. See, I'm keeping contact here. I want to shrink until my thigh of the other leg is flat to the ground. And then I'm going to lock up my triangle. Here I'm squeezing, I'm holding it loose because I'm going to talk a little bit here. Squeezing everything in, and at the same time, because I posted under the arm, and I kept my arm under his arm as he rolled, when I lock up the triangle, my thigh is tight on the carotid artery closest to the ground. I'm pulling his shoulder into the carotid on the opposite side, and then at the same time, I'm hugging with my legs, squeezing these together, hug up into the elbow for the cutting arm. So it's kind of like when somebody's escaping the back position and they turn into you, hip heist, and they have one arm through, and you throw up a triangle. Very similar. I have to go when I start feeling his pressure. He starts shooting everything under, pull, post, and I slide up. Cup, holding the head, then I come back and reinforce here, drive my shin into the shoulders, and kind of leverage him up over my shin. See what it does to his back? Kick this out, and he's fighting to hold it. He's holding it with his hand, fighting to hold it with the legs. I can still kind of pull it out. Okay. When he hip heists to come in, I throw it up, shrink just a little bit. I want my knee to go down to the ground. And knee cover the other side, come to the other side, I'm still holding under the arm. Maintaining contact with his shoulders and his back here, keeping pressure to stop him from posturing up. Lock up the triangle, loosen it for a second while I'm talking. Lock it up, and then I start hugging everything in. Lock, squeeze the knees, hug in on the elbow. There you go. Any questions?
You want to make sure the arm that's out is like within the crook of your neck to restrict his movements, or does it not matter at that?
This, when I have the triangle, or this right here is kind of key to the whole thing. If I give him his arm back, or if I don't put that leverage in, when I establish this position here, if I allow this to be down, he's strong. Okay? Even if I'm here, if I get to this position and he's got that arm down, he's strong. And I'm going to keep your arm down. I'm going to try to do the same thing I did. When I go here, it's see how I bring his body moves, but it doesn't put any pressure on him. So I have to get here. I have to pry the arm up. Now when I peel him, see how his body does that? That's when I can clear. And when he hip heist, I'm still maintaining this. I'm up, still maintaining contact, strip out. Changes my angle, drops it down. Now my lower leg is on this carotid. You can see it over here. And this is pulling the shoulder and everything into the top. And I just hug everything in. So once I get there, squeezing the knees together, pulling them to my chest, and hugging the arm to my chest. He might tap from the arm bar, But you might tap from the triangle, but either way, putting that motion is tightening the triangle because by putting the pressure here, I'm pulling your shoulder deeper into the carotid. And squeezing everything in, I'm pulling him into the carotid that's against this thigh. Cool? So you have to maintain, that feeler on that arm has to be taut the whole time. Cool? Okay, let's give it a try.
So this is the side triangle. There's several ways to get into it. Actually, no, we're going to do the inverted triangle first. We'll do the inverted triangle first. So if I have Jimmy in my scarf, so if I have him in the scarf position, okay, I'm attacking this arm, but he's doing a good job of defending. If this leg's over this arm, then I can get into this. I'm going to take this leg, I'm going to put it over his head. My hat goes behind his head. From here, I lock this up. Same thing. Foot out, tight. I'm inverted, right? I'm upside down. You do this from the inverted guard as well. You shoot your legs past, you do the inverted triangle. But this is just kind of an easier way to see it and get into it and see that you can get to it from other positions. Does that make sense? I really like this because a lot of times you get here, right, and you're trying to do stuff with all this, right, and I'm trying to attack this arm, right, and then once I get to here, look where I am. And what are we trying, right? So anytime I can get over this, whether I'm from side control or scarf, the big thing here is generally he's trying to get this arm back. So look where his head is. Right? He's trying to get that arm back. So same thing with the regular triangle. I'm pulling with this foot, pushing out, squeezing my legs together. Not like pinching my legs, but like stomping down with this and driving my knee up. Right? So down, out, and drive my legs together. Right? It's just like the triangle. Here. Right? I'm not doing a scissor. Right? I'm doing a down and up to make this small. At the same time, I'm going down and out with this. So it is very tight. Once again, side control or scarf. This arm gets isolated, boom, right away. Okay, here, set behind, right to it. Right here stays on the ground. Now scoop this underneath. And there I have it. In, out, squeeze. Here we go. Any questions? Inverted triangle, let's do it. Arm bar, or spinning arm bar. We have the shin in the armpit. Check. Generally, we're aiming for this with our other foot, but who's ever ended up over here? Especially with a spinning arm bar, right? Spinning arm bar, I almost always end up like this. So in this type of a situation, because my foot's here, I don't have, it's easier for him to get that elbow down, right? It's easier for him to get his right elbow down because my whole leg is between us, right? With a regular arm bar, I can be way up here really close, have that elbow really deep. But when I have this leg in here, this has got to be really tight and my foot's got to really be under his shoulder. If this is loose at all, it's easy for him to get out of it. All right, so one of the, and I can either, if I end up with my foot here, that's fine, or if we're here and he's defending, right? If he's defending, then I can come and put my foot through. Now, what I want to do is take this top arm through behind the elbow, controlling the elbow. This is the side triangle. And once I'm here, I'm going to drop, he's going to try, I take a little pressure off, he's going to be trying to get this elbow down, right? And his head comes off the ground. Look, I put my leg behind his head, and I'm pulling him in with this foot. Right? Once I pull him in with that foot, I lock this up, and this gets very tight. I'm having a problem, please go ahead and go palm to palm, keep your elbow tight.
What's that?
Right, go palm to palm to keep your elbow out as I'm squeezing. Right, so he'll fight here, palm to palm. So what I'm going to do is reach back and grab this arm and pull on that. And then that additional pressure is usually enough to get that triangle on there. Notice where I'm at. I'm on my side. So this is my side triangle. And it's basically a reverse inverted triangle. Like this is the side, and if I was locked up the other way around, but I'm here. Does that make sense? If I switched my legs, if I switched my lock, right, over to here, now where would I be? That's my inverted, but my lock is switched, and I'm over to the side, so now it's the side triangle. Okay, once again from the top. Okay, I'm in this arm position here. If I'm here, I need to get it through. If I did a spinning or some other variation and I'm here, foot's already through. This is kind of where I look for it from if I end up here, because I have other things to do with my foot's up here. But some people like to put it through. I gotta keep him from getting his elbow down. This isn't that strong, but if I bring this around here and change my angle, this is get your elbow down to the ground. It's very, very difficult. And in him trying to get the elbow to the ground, trying to sit up, go, right? That makes it easy for me to kick this leg across. I get it deep, and I'm pulling him in with this at the same time. So he's laying on my leg, like on my thigh like a pillow, but I'm pulling him in here with this to keep him in tight. He still feels threatened by the arm. The arm isn't the threat. Okay? That gets real tight real fast. Again, if he's palm to palm or doing anything to try to, like, just grab, put this arm down and, like, your left arm, like, stretch it out, like, I'm trying to, yeah. So anything he's doing like that, I'm going to pull. If I need a little help, I can grab here. When I pull on the arm, he's really tight. Good to go? Once more, are we good? Okay. So spinning arm lock. I'm a little loose. He's trying to escape. I don't really like this. So I switch my grip, right? Boom. Boom. So that my hand is behind the elbow. Right? We got him here. Feel like, oh, now I can come up. He's going to come up on his side a little bit. Look, this allows me to keep my leg through and pull him in at the same time. Right? The leg that I'm pulling in at the same time is one goes behind, I lock, and I get the tap. If I need to, I can pull on the arm. Good to go? Get deep with this leg that goes underneath his head.
So the objective is you still want to get your ankle behind your knee. Some of these you can't really lock it up and do the regular triangle.
Well, you can if you don't have too much shoulder in it. Okay, look, just your regular triangle. So, look, if I go for a regular triangle and I'm here, am I going to finish it? Why not? Too much shoulder, right? His shoulder's included in this. I can't lock it all the way up. So I have to come here, change my angle, get this up higher. Now there's no shoulder, it's just his arm and his head. So it's the same thing here. Right? If I'm here, look. Sorry. If I'm here, look. It's all, see how his shoulders are in there? His head's not on the back, like his head isn't on my leg like a pillow. You see that? See the space under here? Right. I need this to be here. So there's no shoulder in there. See, now I can lock it up with spine. See the difference? Yep. If there's shoulder and back in there, then I'm not going to be able to lock it up. If it's just his head and arm, I can lock it up just fine. So put his head on your thigh like he's taking a little nap, and then put him to sleep. Nice. Cool. So your game, control the head, control the lapel, over, under, all that kind of stuff. Here is good for control. Double unders is good for control. It's very hard for me to get anywhere, but I don't really have the attacks here. I've got to there's not much. If I just need to get on and tire him out, I can grab one here and get my hooks, or if I've got a hook out and I'm fighting, I can fight to get here. But that's really about all that happens right here. All right, so what I want to deal with next is when he gets low, okay? This is I use this. I like this defense a lot. Get low and then clear the foot, okay? If I come back over and I trap the hand, I can either, he can put it there trying to clear my foot, okay? Or I can peel it back. I like to kind of peel it back like an Americana, and he's kind of fighting here, but that pops it right down. Right away, I grab this foot and get it tight for the 2-on-1, pulling it up, okay? His left arm is across, my right leg is across, okay? Just like a regular triangle, foot in the hip, change my angle, lock it up, heel down. I'm trying to make this space as small as possible. Heel down, squeeze, bring my legs together, I get the tap. Okay. If he's defending and making space here, and I can't get it from here, I can come up, grab the knee, sit up, and this is my leg. By sitting up, it's like holding down on his head. I can also lay here and push on his head. Okay? I like grabbing, kind of wrap him up here and put pressure that way, because it just keeps him pretty tight. Okay? Anytime he's trying to clear this foot off, right, is a good time to trap. Once that arm's outside, I gotta grab right away. 2-on-1, cinch this up under his armpit. Put in the hip, lock, okay, squeeze. Sit up, grab, look, if I'm trying to grab his feet, he straightens his feet, I grab the belt. Okie dokie. Okay. He's trying to, I trap, oh, get this, 2-on-1, my own foot. Where does my foot go? Heel in the armpit, right? Get this tight, 2-on-1, so he can't get out. This has got to be strong here. Now the foot can go on the hip. I can change my angle. I set the angle here, nice and tight. Okay, foot down, squeeze my knees together. He's very tight, very quick. If he's defending, and I'm squeezing my legs, it's not working. I sit up, I can grab the knee, and sit up and get the tap. If he puts the leg away, I grab the belt, and sit up. Any questions? All right, let's do it. Back triangle. No, that's fine. So look, you can do the same things here. Okay, so I'm here. So he's trying to get that signal. I'm defending, right? I come up, I scoop this arm, right? I scoop it up for long enough to wish you up this foot over. Now everything's outside. My pressure's down. His elbow is behind my leg. So it's tough for him to get this arm back now. Because he got all this pressure on top, right? And see my leg is blocking his elbow. So some of you are having trouble getting this here. I gotta keep this tight so he can't get that elbow out. So look, I can continue to grab a leg or whatever. I can reach down, grab my shin, just like we do with a regular triangle, right? Pop it up, now I'm in a good position. Now, does that make sense? Once more. Here, right? Hard on this leg, trying to get the single, arm, scoop, right? I'm scooping the arm up so I can bring this across. Now everything's outside, so I drop this down. I'm blocking his elbow. Okay, keep a hold, get this shin, right? If he's trying to sit up, okay, no problem. That helps me. Good to go? Just like the regular triangle there, holding that shin. Good to go? Let's give it a try. When we go, who's familiar with the position wheel? the 8 positions in the wheel. You seen it before? Anybody else seen it before?
I've seen it.
Okay. So, say we're in the guard. Okay? And somebody passes, where do they usually pass to?
Sorry. Half guard.
Well, what's the next available position? What's the next available position after half guard?
Side control.
Okay, where is it the reverse of guard?
The back.
Nope.
Sweep. Mount.
Right, get in somebody's guard and then roll over. Where are you?
Mount.
Mount, right? Most mount escapes end up either with you in his guard or him in your guard, right? Or half guard or whatever. This is the basics. This is the basis of the blue belt, right? The white belt, all the stuff you learn in white belt. All right. So from side control, where do we go from there?
Scarf.
Then what?
North south.
Then what?
Scarf.
No.
Side.
So going back from mount, what's connected to mount on the other side of the guard?
Bag.
Huh?
Yeah, belly.
If he's in the mount and you're punching him in the face and he rolls over, where are you?
Back. Turtle.
Okay, and knee and belly is in there. Now, this is, you know, roughly a circle. That doesn't mean you can only go here. You can go from guard straight to side. You can go from guard straight to scarf. You can go from guard to north-south, right? You can go from side to knee and belly. You can go from side to mount. You can go from side to back, right? So there's different transitions. But what I'm getting at here is this game, we take this wheel's looking from the top, right? Because if we're down on the ground, we're here. So we're moving horizontally. Check, it's horizontal game. Going from position to position and submission to submission is horizontal. When we study the game, and that's usually how the game is played, horizontal. Does that make sense? Position to position, to submission, to transition, or any combination of those. Chains come out of this, right? Does that make sense? So now, when we talk about vertical, okay, when we talk about vertical technique development, we're focusing on one technique. Okay? So we have our main technique, usually a submission. Okay, generally when I think of vertical stuff, it's based on just on submissions. Okay? So for our technique, what do we need to know about our technique if it's a submission? First off. Huh? Before that. If you know 20 entries, but don't know how to mechanics, right? You've got to know your mechanics. Mechanics of the finish and the principles of the finish so that you can, no matter where you get to it, you can finish it. Okay? So from there, now we get into what? Okay, entries, setups. Okay? What from there?
Transitions.
Well, what's in here? Initial conditions, right? Like what? Grips, base, posture, right? We need to know the demands of the movement and then where it should end up. Okay, if we know, does everybody understand what I mean by demands of movement? Give me an example of demands of movement. Yeah, so momentum, how hard you have to do something, how soft you have to do something, with what kind of speed, with what kind of angles, the demands of the movements. Is it a strength movement, is it a finesse movement, that kind of stuff. Okay, and then you want to know expected outcome. Where are we going to end up? Okay, it's important to know where you're going to end up because when you do something, what's the other guy going to do?
Defend or counter.
Okay, he's going to resist. All right, counter resistance, straight up defenses, and maybe he has counters. What do we need to have for all of those? Okay, ways to stop or redirect, right? Beat, both stop and redirect the defenses and whatever, and recounters. Right? So then what does this start to turn into? Horizontal study, because we're going from he does this, then I do that, then he does this, then I do that. Does that make sense? But when we look at the technique, so let's just take the triangle. Okay, we'll come across here. How many entries or setups do you know for the triangle? Can you do the triangle from the mount?
Yes.
Can you do triangle from the guard?
Yes.
Can you do triangle from the half guard?
Yes.
Can you do triangle from the side?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you do triangle from the scarf?
Yes.
Can you do triangle from north-south?
Yes.
Can you do triangle from the belly?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you do triangle from the back?
Yes.
Yes.
So, can you do triangle from butterfly guard?
Yep.
From spider guard?
Yep.
From, there's a bunch. So, this is vertical development. We're taking this submission and studying it through all the positions with all the entries, but looking at the mechanics and all that. The other thing we need to look at here is variations. Okay, sometimes these initial conditions produce other variations, and sometimes just there's multiple variations of technique. So what we're going to go into is 4 main variations of the triangle with just our legs. Okay, this isn't a head and arm triangle or an arm and leg triangle. This is just legs. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to spend a whole bunch of time on the triangle. We're going to have all sorts of entries and setups. We're going to have a whole bunch of different types of triangles, and we're going to tie it into, hey, when he defends, you can do this. When he does this, you can do that. Does that make sense? Really get into the triangle. Sound like a plan?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead and stop that.